Thank you, Professor Dilip Patil, for your live experiences about skilling and how you're working in the entrepreneurship areas. Now we have a special guest joining from Delhi. I would ask my technical team to kindly show him on the screen. Mr. Suvir Mishra, he is the Commissioner of Income Tax. He is an IRS officer, Indian Revenue Service. And on the LinkedIn, if you go on his LinkedIn, he will describe himself as the AI practitioner and technology seeder in the governance, giving us a glimpse into his progressive outlook and leadership vision. With a distinguished career in the Indian Customs, Central Excise and GST service, he has served in various roles as a tax administrator and enforcer. Mr. Misra's expertise lies in the realm of e-governance, particularly his contributions in projects such as ICERT, IceGate and ECCS during his tenure at the Directorate General of Systems and Data Management. Notably, he played a pivotal role in the successful implementation of the first certifying authority for the Government of India back in 2005. He walks the talk when it comes to continued learning and development. Throughout his career, Mr. Suvir Mishra has honed his skills in programming languages like Java, C++, and Python, etc., and leveraging them to develop various applications, including Android applications using TensorFlow for GST. His comprehensive knowledge and expertise in both AI and artificial intelligence and taxation make him a valuable asset in driving digital transformation and efficient governance. A big round of applause for Mr. Suvir Mishra, CGST Commissioner, Mumbai. Welcome, Mr. Suvir Mishra. Now you can start your deliberation. Can you hear Mr. Suvir Mishra? The technical team, please see if his sound is there. And show him on the full screen, please. It's okay, it will show on the full screen. Yeah, can you hear Mr. Suvir Mishra? Yes, now you are audible. Please be a little louder.
So I'm pleased to be the presence of so many guests and speakers. I will be speaking purely from my own personal perspective and not as a government representative.
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
E-governance models for a long period of time. I'm aware that entrepreneurship is a really important aspect of the Indian economy. Entrepreneurship actually involves taking high risks. Risks are always there in the businesses, but entrepreneurship especially requires high risk because there is uncertainty which is involved in innovative but untested business models. I'm sure everyone is aware that good innovative ideas do not automatically turn into good business models. New business models have risks only because of the uncertainty involved in it. Then what exactly is the government's role in developing and enabling entrepreneurship? Government's role is there in developing the ecosystem, definitely. It's already there. Government is already involved in infrastructures like etc. The thing is, does this address all the risks involved in entrepreneurship? Apart from the ecosystems, apart from the infrastructure and regulatory frameworks, we require that the government should also undertake various risk mitigation measures. And one of the most important risk mitigation, the risk involved is the question of availability of sufficient skills in the human resources. Risk can be mitigated regarding these paucity in the human resources by understanding why is it that there is such a low dissemination of ideas such as the acceptability of hydrogen fuel cells or the understanding of the ChatGPT models, which involves reinforcement learning through human feedback models. When it comes to the projections regarding the AI and machine language job, all over the world, there are supposed to be 69 million jobs available. Question is, are we available for such jobs? My take is that the government's role should be to strictly intervene in this regard. The government must subsidize all AI and machine language related courses to certain incentives such as not levying any taxes on institutions which run such courses involving Python or let's say any courses involving machine learning. I remember that back in the 90s, the first revolution which came in the human resources in the IT sector was when in every lanes and every small colonies, there were courses of Java and C++ which were being run by small outfits. That is what exactly I want. That in the future, all small lanes and small houses should be running courses on AI and machine language so that we can be equipped to capture the 69 million jobs, at least a part of the 69 million jobs that would be ready in the future. So with this, I will not take much of the time, but my suggestion would be that we should be very seriously looking into the question of educating our youth, not only youth, but also the existing workforce in machine language, machine learning, and various other courses. I myself I am a coder. I consider myself as an AI practitioner, and I know that there involves some skill sets. There involves some efforts to learn various languages, understand the framework of the AI ML, and the framework of TensorFlow and various other modules which are available for the development of the models which are certainly going to take away a number of jobs. I'm sure that everyone is aware that Microsoft itself has been saying that the office jobs are going to be taken away by in the near future. And that's why they are pushing their VI tools. So with that, I would suggest that government should be seriously looking into subsidizing these courses and enabling learning of such languages and models by our youth as well as existing workforce, so that it is ready to garner the jobs which are going to be available in the future. Thank you, and with this I hand over the proceedings to Shri Kaji.
Thank you very much, sir, for taking out your precious time from Delhi and joining us for this conference and your wonderful deliberations. Thanks a lot to you. Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to invite Mr. Anil Radhakrishnan. He is a director of Essex Supply Chain Solutions and advisor of Temasek Investments, Mumbai. Mr. Anil, with an extensive 29-year career, he has demonstrated remarkable expertise as a business leader. Throughout his journey, he has excelled in demanding roles and achieved notable turnarounds. Presently, Mr. Radhakrishnan is fully committed to fostering the development of startups that integrate digital and technological advancements with traditional business models within the supply chain and logistics sector. He adds value to rapidly growing companies by serving on their boards of providing advisory services. With a deep conviction in the industry's dynamic and exponential growth phase, Mr. Radhakrishnan actively contributes to the captivating transformations underway. A big round of applause for Mr. Radhakrishnan. Please welcome him.
Good afternoon. I think I'm the first one who can say good afternoon. And it's really, first let me thank Shri Omkar ji and Business Connect magazine for giving me this platform. See, you had a very exciting sessions from the professors and also Mr. Tejwan Singh. I'll try to justify for being here. To give you just brief about my experience, I've been born and brought up in multinational companies, running large billion-dollar organizations, where I could learn the importance of being process-oriented, the importance of corporate governance. Then I worked with a large Indian conglomerate. I was a CEO for Adani Group, wherein you need to have the ground rules. You need to be very quick, very dynamic, very flexible. And last 5 years, I'm in a different journey of building companies and also helping startups and mentoring mainly startups in digital, in consumer industry, and also in robotics and few other areas. So what I would like to share with you is my on-the-job experience. Because when you are a professional, the way you engage with the business and the way you look at the business is different. And when you groom a startup, or mainly on the entrepreneurship, you call it startup, it's a new word, but it has been there for ages. We have been building a business. So I would like to share some of my insights, mostly the intrinsic insights, the internal factors. I'm not touching about the external factors of government policies and all, because I always believe you manage what you can control the best, and then the results will come. So there are a few things which I've learned. I'll share with you. One, you need to have a very clear, deep understanding of the value proposition which you are going to give to the customers. Because I have worked with few startups from IIT, startups from elsewhere. After a few years, there are certain startups which get into a failure mode. You know why? Because theoretically you feel there is a problem, I need to solve this problem. But have you asked the real users of this problem whether they need the solution? Because you should have a clear value proposition, what customer wants, rather than assuming this is what customer needs. So that is the first thing, because that is clearly what is very important when you start any new venture. The second one is the customer, customer, customer. Because we always think I'll bring in solutions, I will build product, I will build my process, but you're doing for whom? So that you need to have a very clear customer acquisition plan. And more important is the customer retention plan. What is the kind of customer experience which you are providing? How can you keep the customer with you? That is very important. And the third one is, and the most important, and this is one reason why most of the startups fail, also choose the right founders and the right partners and the right team. Because if you can, see, when you're building or when you're giving birth to a startup, you are in a lot of excitement. Then at that point, you won't give much importance to select the right people because you just want to get it started. You are in that speed mode and you will get, okay, you come, let us do it. No, please, take a pause and see whether your partners, your co-founders are complementary, because that is going to be very important for you. That is the fourth one. Have all your KPIs, the key metrics of measurement, it has to be very visible, because I always believe what can't be measured goes under the carpet. So make sure whatever best possible, all your key parameters, be it the revenue growth, be it customer acquisition cost or customer lifetime value, all these different parameters which you have, which is relevant to your industry, please make sure that KPIs are well built. And the key is profitability, because since I'm sitting in the board of the investment companies, one thing which I want to tell you today, gone are the days when you can sell some ideas and then sell the dreams. You have to show them where the money is. How is the profitability going to come? How you make your proof of concept, and when you will be able to generate cash for yourself, because it's going to be very important. And the fourth one is funding and the investment strategy. Fifth one. The funding and investment strategy, why I'm saying it is important is because don't just go for, I need a seed round, because everybody is going seed A, seed B, series A, series B. You don't need to go with that. Equity is very important. Hold the equity as long as it's possible. So go for funding when is this really needed. Whether you want to grow, whether you want to go organic, whether you want to go inorganic. Understand what is needed for your company's growth strategy and then go for this investment mode. And few other things, definitely you need to remain agile and flexible, because certain times the value proposition which you started with and along the journey, it may change. So keep that flexibility, keep that nimbleness. And another more important factor is, because for me, to share my experience from a very well-set multinational or a large conglomerate, moving into a startup was a very, sort of a orbit shift. So these kind of periods when you start your entrepreneurship mode or when you start this founding, your mental and physical balance has to be very taken care, because that is very important, because how you take care of that so-called work-life balance, that is going to be very important. In that, I will just share two thoughts with you, which I feel it can add value in your life. There is something called zone of excellence and zone of genius. Zone of excellence means these are the areas where you are excellent and you do the job very well. But then there are other areas where you are uniquely good, but you also get the motivation when you do that. So try whether you can reduce the work in your zone of excellence and move to zone of genius, because that will really help you to get the maximum out of yourself. And wherever the zone of excellence, if you want, get the right people on board. Outsource it. Get the right people, and you focus in areas where the zone of genius. How you can identify the zone of genius and excellence is, you can have an energy audit. It's nothing very complex. You just see what gives you the maximum energy. I have time left, or? Oh, okay. So I think we are pressed for time. And yeah, you can just chat with me. I'll be here for some time. And before I wind up, I like to share something with you. See, knowledge, the information that tomato is a fruit, that's a knowledge. But wisdom is not to put tomato in the fruit salad. Entrepreneurship is that. Have the wisdom to choose what is right in your fruit salad and do it well, do it consistently well, and make it sustainable. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anil Radhakrishnan ji. Friends, we have two very important guests here on the dais, which I could not introduce them, and I was also keeping them for surprise to you all. Mr. Dr. Karthikeya Anand, he has especially come from Andhra Pradesh, is senior IS officer and OSD to Minister of Finance and his skill development. He is sitting here, he is the keynote address today, Mr. Dr. Karthikeya Anand. A big round of applause for Dr. Karthikeya Anand. We also guest of honor today, His Excellency Mr. Donawat Pulsawat, Councillor General of Royal Thai Consulate General. He has especially come for this program. Mr. Donawat, Excellency. Before inviting these two dignitaries to deliver their views, I would like to invite another important dignitary, Mr. Rajesh Sinha. He was the former CEO and MD of NCDEX E-Marketing Limited and the Beam, and he is also the director of Sahyadi Farms. He has a lot of experience in the agriculture, farming, and related issues. So I would like to invite Shri Rajesh Sinha ji.
Thank you very much to Mr. Omkareshwar Singh ji for inviting me here, and to Business Connect. And special thanks to all the audience who has spared their time to be here. I won't take a lot of time. So some very, very important pieces, like I come from Bihar, that's my native. And I have studied in 5 different states, including Andhra Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat. My father was in army, and I had 0 experience in entrepreneurship. So some of the things that I would like to share here is, NCDEX E-Markets is the entity which pioneered something called One State, One Market, Karnataka model, which was adapted by Government of India as something we known as E-National Agriculture Markets. We created the proof of concept, which was adapted, and today if you look at how a job gets created, it's essentially not so much about what we were. I've said that in a very, very brief piece what I did, but what fueled an entrepreneurship is the passion to see, that solution for farmer does not lie with him per se. A farmer is a producer. So when I say farmer, I'm not really talking about somebody who just farms on the land. He could be an aquaculture guy, he could be farming in ocean, river, poultry farmer. So agriculture in general, as defined in US, it includes everything where you are a primary producer. To that extent, if you extend it a little bit, even a mining comes into that primary production. Now, some of the key insights. So how to, what to take. When you look at commodity exchanges per se, there are 4 right now. Now they are stock exchanges. Not very long ago, we had 2 different regulators. Now they are merged into one. So when you look at them, they are at the apex. They discover prices. They look at future. An immediate price that you see, and today, we have seen inflation of commodity prices. Now we are seeing even deflation in basic agriculture commodity prices, and it's going to go down as we further speak. Prices of wheat was not in the hands of farmers or edible oil. Something happened in Ukraine, it came to us. I won't talk so much. You might be seeing that this is a very, very different stance, but let me come back and synthesize what is extremely important for entrepreneurship or skill. So skill, these are honorable experts on the dais. I'm sure I don't have much experience as compared to them, but let me, within the limited experience and knowledge I had, let me share those with you. So first I would say customers, yes, it's important. So when you start, whether it's Godrej or whether it was Tata's or whether it was Reliance, they all started with commodity trading. They were trading either cotton or vegetable fats. So was the case with Wipro. They all started trading edible oils. What are they doing today? They are all conglomerates. So did they get attached to their products? Answer is no. Godrej started trading in vegetable fats. Wipro started with that. Tata started with that. Today they are conglomerates. So how did they grow? They looked at customers, yes. We all have a passion to the idea. So from customer, look at repeat customer. So everything that you go to the market with, you would have customer, but if you can find a solution that customer becomes a repeat customer, and if that customer becomes your ambassador, and that's the core to a B2B marketplace which does not build a brand. Second, system to ecosystem. We have been talking about system and processes, and we had Dr. Dilip right in the beginning talking about how revolutions, have, now it has come down to 10 years. I would say it would be in possibly not even in years, but much lesser. So generations which we used to talk about initially 30 years, then 20 years, and now I don't think my son is 21 years, he is studying. But what he talks about is about AI. So managers and MBAs, I am told, are already outdated. Nobody, if you are a generalist now, you don't have much place. Okay. So why it's important to go from system to ecosystem? We have seen software development programs, managers, we just talked about no coding, now we are talking about generative AI. Essentially, we are coming back to an ecosystem. It means it's a mutually recalibrating set of partners which would fuel your profitable growth. So it's no longer required that you just be a developer or something. You need to develop your own ecosystem. Create your own world. If you're an entrepreneur, slowly create your own world. Surround yourself with a set of entities who are high performing and they contribute something to you as well. Then the one I will say, growth to profitable growth. Last couple of years, so-called funding winters, you are still finding people who are actually, getting funded. But while growth is important, to have a profitable growth is important. And core to that is, there is a customer value proposition that you bring. There are only two value propositions that will give you money. Either you reduce cost of the customer or you increase income of the customer. Either ways, when there is a saving of 100 rupees, I would say maybe you as a service provider or a product seller might end up getting 1 rupee out of it. And that should be big enough reward for you. So while you look for a customer value proposition, look for your firm value proposition. What is it that your firm is going to make? So when I am saying, as an illustration, if 100 rupees is what you are going to save the customer or make that extra money, you be content getting 10 paisa or 1 rupee. Maybe 10 paisa is big enough. And last, I would say, from attachment to detachment. Idina mamam is the core word. That is what I call SAR, or at the core of Gita. It's not mine. This is what Lord Krishna told Arjun in Jyotisar. That's the place where Kurukshetra happened. When Arjuna was saying, why should I fight? They are all mine. They are my relatives. He said, it's not yours. There is nothing in this world that was yours. You came alone, you will go back alone. So you do what is required. That's live in the present. And the present is, if you don't go on them, they will go on you. So you don't bother what's going to happen. And I think that's the core of entrepreneurship as well. Why did I start with saying Tata started trading vegetable oils or cotton? That's how Reliance started. They were also, Vimal was one of their first retail products. It's no longer there. Wipro started with trading of vegetable oils, no longer there. Godrej started with, I think they were making keys and locks and all that. Today they do everything else. Right from salt to all that we are talking. Adani Enterprises we talked about. They again started in trading. Today they are a multi-billion conglomerate, okay? So why I'm saying don't get attached to your product or your service. You have to get detached to it. When you go to market, that's your idea, it's like your extension to the world. But don't get attached. Market will reward you. Go with what your customers want from you. And get to the paying customers, not any customer. Harsh truth, it may take you 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, but get to the paying customer if you're really married to the entrepreneurship. And last piece. When we are looking at all this, entrepreneurship, when we are looking at that, and when you are looking at an exponential growth, don't look at yourself at the center of it. Keep vacating that chair fast enough. Look at people not as resources, but as people, while they are all resources for you. But look things from others' perspective and then your own. And I think that's also at the core. So when you're an entrepreneur, the first thing is you should understand things from others' perspective and then your own. I think when you imbibe yourself into that, you will see that through partnerships, through ecosystem, through detachments, through profitable growth, and through repeat customers, entrepreneurship and skills will get developed. If you don't have it, there would be enough people for you to egg on and develop that in you and in everybody else. Thank you.
Rajesh Sinha ji. We are running little late in this session. Now I would like to invite our keynote speaker of this session, of this conference, who has especially come from Andhra Pradesh for this conference only, a very senior IS officer, Dr. Karthikeya Anand, OSD to Minister of Finance and Skill, Government of Andhra Pradesh, who is a highly accomplished public policy professional with a strong focus on sustainable development goals. Driven by his passion for social transformation and over 18 years of experience, he has successfully led and executed high-value projects that prioritize the upliftment of vulnerable and marginalized sections of the society. His expertise spans across various ministries, state governments, and multilateral agencies, where he has played a crucial role in driving schemes and programs for sustainable development goal, education, women empowerment, livelihood creation, gender equality, poverty elimination, health and skill development. Dr. Karthikeya holds a master's in public policy from the Indian School of Business, Hyderabad, and has completed the executive program management from Cornell University, United States of America. A big round of applause for Dr. Karthikeya Anand.
Very good afternoon and Jai Hind to everyone. Janani Janma Bhumischa Swargatapi Garyasi. Mother and motherland is nothing is lesser than anything else. So I would like to remind my mom and my parents and my teachers for giving this opportunity. And I would like to thank and my deeply privileged by his invitation by Mr. Pandey, inviting me for this towards very close to my heart, a skill development, a quality skilling and entrepreneurship. Thank you, Mr. Pandey, for inviting me here, and your team for your commitment towards organizing this kind of summit to bring all the great minds together to have a brainstorming and to implement, and this is what we required at this point of time to implement the policies. When talk about quality skilling is with education. Skill is not a separate from education. It is a part of education. But when it comes to, if you see my profile, I've last 9 years, even though I don't want skill, it is following in my department. I worked in rural development. So there also skill development is there. I worked in health. There also skill development is there. Education, skill development. And now finance, and again a skill development is there. So skill development, I've seen such a way, it is so important, but people are not considering that it is a part of them. The moment you take birth, the skill is, you need to have a skill. But why we are not taking the so important on it? We are not focusing on it. And people, today we blame children that they're not getting a skill, right skills. First thing is because we are not strengthening our education system. Hope you all agree with me. Can you live without electricity? So it is so difficult without electricity at this point of time. In this generation, I don't know about 30 years back, but the same way, with the right skills, it is so difficult to survive at this generation and at present. Same way, skill, why we are not acquiring? We tell children that, acquire this skill, acquire that skill, but we are not incorporating this skill development from the childhood. You have to give skills from children, like when you, like 3 years or 4 years children only, start teaching them how to talk. We teach, but we are not giving that exactly. That we will think that skill development will come after your education of 15 years of education. No, it is from day one we need to incorporate this. So what we are saying is, when we see, we get so many profiles. Sir, inko job dila dijiye. So people will come. Recently, 2 days back, I got a reference from one of the minister. Karthik sir, can you recommend this person for the so-and-so company? I said, okay, please send minister, so we can't say no. So after talking to the person, will you able to communicate well? The answer I received from him is, manage kar dunga sir. So before going into the organization itself, he is managing. Then what kind of skill we are expecting? How can we expect that he is going to perform? So this has to start from the day one. And it is not only students. There are parents and government. We always blame government. What government is doing? What kind of policies? Government has come up with various schemes to enhance skilling. You talk about any skill, Prime Minister, PMKUI, Pradhan Mantri Kaushalya Vikas Yojana. For rural development, we have Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Kaushalya Yojana. And many foundations, they are doing skill development activities. But still we have a huge unemployment. Many are there still not getting employment opportunities. What is the reason? They are not acquiring a right skill. See, if I want to work in aviation industry, I need to have a skill about aviation sector, correct? It doesn't mean that I will learn something, then I will try to get a job in aviation sector. Will you agree with me or not? Correct. If I have to give a presentation here, I need to get the skill to give a presentation. But here what is happening is, when we're doing a skilling also, the right matching is not happening. I am not here to talk about quality skilling in terms of what definition and all this. You all are wearing a suits and highly intellectuals are sitting here. So I am here to talk about what we are doing in Andhra Pradesh or in India in terms of a government level policy making, and what kind of entrepreneurs are going to come. So same way, we need to map the skill ecosystem such a way that industry should incorporate skill development. For example, if a company wants aviation students, like recently we had interaction with Airbus. Airbus want to train in drones. So now we don't want to give a curriculum from our own, any kind of curriculum we will train and they will get drone pilots. No, we said Airbus will come, they will give their content. They have to give what kind of pilots they want. What is the curriculum? It is not that academicians or someone else will start framing their curriculum. It is the company who really want a customized. So we made them part of it, and they made the curriculum, they are training, then it is easy for them to also incorporate those people in their company. So this is what actually we required. In fact, last year I've been to Europe. European countries are really required huge manpower because they have shortage of manpower. At least when you walk on the roads in India, you see small kids, many. But walk in Europe, you don't find kids. There is a huge shortage of manpower there. Ample opportunities are there. How are we going to give? We talk about skill international. So there are opportunities are there, but in India, we can't create employment opportunities. What population we have, 150 crores. It is so difficult. But in European countries, every country can adopt one state of India because they need India. Because we have young 19 to 35 years manpower is there, which can give another 40 years employment opportunities. And also we talk a few things. Now we talk only creating employment and jobs and all this. Why are we talking about jobs? We need to talk about entrepreneurs. No, we all are, India is like, we all are entrepreneurs only. But when you see in the class, when you ask, as a teacher asks, what do you want to become in life? They'll say, one says, I want to be an IAS officer, one I want to be an IPS officer, doctor. How many in the class will say that I want to be a businessman or I want to be a businesswoman? How many are actually really saying this? How many parents encourage for this? So this is what is a thought, we have to give a thought on this. And here, it is not that we came here summit and we listen everything and we leave everything will go. Now start making entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs can create employment opportunities. If we start thinking about creating employment or jobs, we are not going to be successful in this world. We have to create entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs only can create employment opportunities. So when I was working in the district, I started working on it. We get so many profiles. Job, employment, working in a district, sir. Outsourcing thoda job dila dijiye. My Hindi is not that great, please forgive me. Please accept my sincere apology for my language for Hindi. So we started working on entrepreneurs. See, there's a bakery. So we identified a person who can really have entrepreneur skills. So we guided him and we mentored him. We gave funding from the government. That person now giving an employment of almost 25 to 30 members in the district headquarters. So this is what we start doing as small things. I don't want to make big entrepreneurs. At least everyone, like we can see street vendors, like tiffin centers, small entrepreneurs are coming. How are we going to handle these people? That is most important. When we do skilling, skilling also will give beauty and wellness. So you know how beauty and wellness is important at present. So we started giving beauty and wellness trainings for the children, and it is not that we can place them in employment like in 8,000, 9,000 salaries, correct? But some people are coming, sir, I want to start a beauty and wellness center in my village. So where I can give another 10, 15 villages can come together and we can start. So it's a good thought. So what we have to do for them? We need to handhold them, we need to guide them. So we started doing this, and we now in a district where I've worked earlier, almost you find 10 to 15 kind of beauty and wellness centers where we train them. We're handholding these people from last 2 years, and these people have created almost 100 plus employment opportunities for these people. We can't know, everyone can't bring them to a city like a Mumbai or bigger cities and give them employment opportunities, correct? So we need, see basically entrepreneurs, who will become entrepreneurs? A person who can solve a problem. Entrepreneurship will come only with a problem, correct? In a village, if you want to be an electrical problem is there, we need electrician. So the entrepreneur will come with the problem. So who can resolve these problems, he will become an entrepreneur. It is not that easy to become an entrepreneur. You talk about Flipkart today, talk about Oyo, talk about Mama Earth. All these people has become entrepreneurs by understanding a problem, then they started creating a solution for this. So entrepreneur think that it is like it looks very nice. Now today we are talking about big people. But the journey is like, when you see Everest, it's so easy, beautiful, it looks, when you start climbing, then you see the challenges. The same way, entrepreneurs, continuously they face the problems, but they need dedication, commitment. They can be successful only with a vision. The vision which drives them to become entrepreneurs, they themselves create a lot of opportunities. So this is what we need to do to create entrepreneurs. When entrepreneurs in state and government also, we need to, whoever comes ahead, we should put mentors for these people to become like startups. We have startup ecosystems, startup incubation centers. But small entrepreneurs in district level, whoever is interested, we need to mentor them and guide them. And for them, finance is the biggest problem. Basically, whoever wants to become a businessman or businesswoman, they think, sir, मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है. बहुत सारे idea है, पैसा नहीं है. I feel, if I think many business people are here, they should tell me, money is not, capital is not important. Dam chahiye. Guts. Even employers like me and I think whoever is working, we don't have guts. But entrepreneurs, they have guts to start something. They are the people who take challenges, who actually take risk. A businessman who takes risk, he will be a successful person. But the risk, whoever don't take, no, we expect that no, month 31st, we need to get salary in my account. But entrepreneurs, they don't think all this. They take risk and they'll give us salaries or they'll give employment to many of the people. So that is what an entrepreneur required. Entrepreneurs require actually. So when you're talking about in a state like now, every state is working on it. Might be thinking that government is not doing for entrepreneurs and all this. Yes, we are doing it. But at the same time, we need support from you, all of you also. You should be part. See, this is our country. It is not someone else, correct? I just give you a small example. I was traveling Europe last 2 weeks back. I think 2-3 weeks back, last month, I met Mr. Omkareshwar. So he connected me with someone in Berlin. I was traveling in a train, a bullet train, which is actually more than 250 kilometers per hour speed it is going on. I saw there's a seat which is torn. So I was thinking that, okay, I was actually looking at that seat. There's one person who came immediately, took his needle and started stitching in that seat. I was shocked because he doesn't want anyone to blame his country that no, the seat is torn. That is what is a commitment. That is what a dedication towards a nation. So we have to have the discipline towards that. See what Abdul Kalam said once. Nation should be like India and citizens should be like Indian. This is what now today everyone talks about India. We are in such a place that now we are almost, it's not number 1, number 2, number 3. We are unique. We are in a different place. See, Rajinikanth, we talk about southern superstar. When you talk Rajinikanth, we don't say he's a number 1 or number 2 or number 3. He's a different level. So India also is a different level. For that, we all have to work together to get the skilling. People help them, children. We always say that, no, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Children also have to get this technical skills. Now, technical skills, when you're talking, they have to advance. In 25 years back, we have typing, correct? But today, we have computers. But whoever adopt the new technology, they will survive. Today, if I talk about whatever I studied 20 years back, it can be helpful if I add the new age technologies to life. Then only I can go further. The same way, we need to guide children. We need to get many people in terms of skill ecosystem, get that industry relevant courses. More industry relevant courses where people can use and they can survive and they can get a gainful employment opportunities. At the same time, I request industry also to be part of skill ecosystem. Please meet all, wherever it is required, government departments, and understand them, what exactly they required, and be a part of it. Like example, I'll tell you, we have Kia Motors in Andhra Pradesh. We thought everyone is doing a CSR. We don't want to ask any money from any corporate company. We said, we will give you one industrial technical institute. You adopt this training center and you show the results. They were so happy. And we made that ITI. See, when you see ITIs and all this in government ITIs, you see very old infrastructure will be there. What you are expecting from children? When you're talking about a skill, you give them skill, correct? If I have to talk to my daughter, if I have to teach her something, I need to give latest equipment. Then she can learn. So when we go to ITIs and some government schools and all this, we have old, same 20 years, 30 years back, whatever they bought, the same thing. But we need to upgrade. So get that new technology. For that, we require corporate people to come into this. And it's our responsibility, correct? Part of it, and take this next generation. See, today we are happily sitting here, we're talking about everything. before 1947, all the leaders, freedom fighters, they struggled a lot. Because of them, today we are talking. Now what are we going to give for next generation? So we have to take the responsibility. It is not that Mahatma Gandhi has taken responsibility or Ambedkar or Subhash Chandra Bose. What are we taking now? What are we going to give for next generation? So what we have done is Kia started doing it. Now they gave complete curriculum. They are training them. They are placing them in the organizations. So it has become an industry complete equipment also. We have changed it to new, it is called modernization. The same way, polytechnic colleges. So when we strengthen this vocational training, you see the data also, only 5% to 6% of people actually getting vocational training in India. Why? When it comes to Germany, they have a dual education system. 57% of people are getting vocational training in Germany. And 96% of vocational training is getting by South Korea. Why only 5%? This is what we need to think. This is actually, it should be a brainstorming session for us and discussion point for us, thinking about on this and coming out for solutions. When are we going to reach the 95% or 100%? So that is the reason we started working on modernization of ITS and polytechnic college in the state of Andhra Pradesh, strengthening it. So getting a new technology. Even 2 years back, I've been to one place to check that automobile engineering courses. Automobile engineering course in this college where I went, they're teaching automobile engineer which is a car which is very old, we even unable to open the door, rusted screws and everything. What are we going to teach from that? So if you want to train your children or the students to give them a skill, you need to keep the right vehicle, correct? A latest vehicle, teach them. Then they will acquire skills. So we are saying that children are not advanced, children are not getting technology or new skills because we are not giving them. Give them right skills. Encourage them and at the same time teach them discipline. That will give them a strength. If you're saying that we are patriotic people for the country, be disciplined and automatically become a patriotic for the nation. So this is what we're doing in a state. And entrepreneurs also, we are getting women entrepreneurs, making them and understanding them. And more than that, when we talk about entrepreneurs, we need to say that they take risk. But government also, we are giving that money for them, funding. The same way, startup incubation centers, we're doing it. So many startup incubations are coming from Andhra and Telangana. I think if you're not visited, you can visit a tea hub in Telangana. You will get an idea. And you can see in our Andhra University, we have incubation centers. So it's not the government is not doing it. So many things we're doing it. But when corporate companies will come ahead, we can do wonders. So with this, I would like to end this thing. If any have questions, you can shoot questions. But I'm not a person like, Mr. Tejwant is like an aggressive batsman who actually came and you just flooded with the questions and all this. So I spoke whatever we have done in Andhra and Telangana and what we can do in the future. The future is with the generation only to give them a skill from the day one. And when you can give the skill from day one, that skill only can help them. When you talk about soft skills also, we are not teaching the soft skills. And I believe in my schooling, my teachers are actually really experienced and they taught me so many things where I can now stand in front of you. The credit goes to my parents and my teachers. But nowadays, when you come to teachers today, top business schools and all this is different. But other schools, how many teachers can have that actually skill? So skill is a self-explanatory and they have to acquire it on themselves. It is not that someone else will come and tell you that, no, you acquired the skills. You always self-discipline learning will always give a skill. If I have to give a better presentation, it is not someone else will tell. I have to acquire, I have to learn. The same way, skills also for children, it is the same way. And also, once again, I request any industry people from here, or this platform is for that, quality skilling. We can come and you come here and there should be participate of the government and always officers like me or more others, they are taking a support from corporates. We are approaching government corporates. In fact, you see, I'm very active in LinkedIn. I approach most of the corporate people and I'll talk to them. And whoever is there, I give them time also. I will talk to them what they want to do, how they want to do. It is not one person can change it. We can't change, but at least we can improvise it. So we are in the stage. In fact, in Andhra, we are also doing it. Every vocational trainings, I said, we have 175 member of legislative assemblies are there. To get the skilling, every member of legislative assembly, we have a skill ups, a low level skilling, activities we are doing it. And a member of parliament constituency, we have a 26 skill colleges are there, where high-end skills, and 1 skill university. Why we are working is because we have ample opportunities are there. If someone says there are no employment opportunities, I don't agree, because I have market survey with me. There are ample opportunities are there, but there is a gap between industry and the same time that employee and employer. So that gap, we are trying to bridge the gap between that both, but still we are not doing it because we are not understanding that entire different variation. If you understand the variation, if you can bridge the gap, then we don't be unemployment. And with the unemployment, and we start focusing on creating. Our vision should be 2020 Vision India, when Sir Abdul Kalam spoke in the year of 2000. Now we need to talk about 2050, only India should produce entrepreneurs. They can create employment opportunities for many and many of people. That should be our vision. That is what I personally believe to give my nation the coming next 30 years. So entrepreneurs, focus on entrepreneurs, give them, handhold them. People should say in the class, what do you want to become in life? Sir, I want to be a businessman. I want to be a businesswoman. I want to create in this. So, now today, everything, like, it's a problem, they're finding a solution. Earlier, we used to see only few people. People are coming, it is changing. And I think we are going to see a drastic change in next coming years. So I expect many of them will come as entrepreneurs. Further, we have to support them. And I request such a great platform he created, Mr. Omkareshwar, for getting all the intellectuals and esteemed speakers to understand the quality skilling and ecosystem. Once again, I requested him and his team to same kind of event, please organize in Andhra Pradesh. For that, whatever support we want, we would like to give him. And thank you so much. Any questions? But I think this is not a question, or I don't know, but still.
It's very easy for a corporation like Kia, for example, right? They can join hands with the government to, help the tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities to, help tier 2, tier 3 cities to, excel the skills. How do you see a facility for a medium-scale corporation like us? We want to cater the nation, as a part of corporate social responsibility. But how do you see an opportunity for medium and small level corporations to do the same thing what Kia is doing there in Andhra Pradesh?
So Kia has done, because it's a big organization, they have done in their level. But I think you can support your manpower, human resource, to incorporate, and it can be a part of take any place like a center of excellence. A small thing, like it's not that Kia is only doing it. Small local industries also coming, and they're taking a classroom. We are giving a 300 to 400 SFT place. They're establishing computer labs, and they're sending their people. At the same time, I started thinking about a capacity utilization. Morning hours, we are training people. Second half, if any corporate people want in a district level, we have a well-infrastructured classrooms and the work location also. So we are giving them for working free of cost for they can operate their system. So it is not that big companies only can come, anyone come. Only we need to have a heart to do something. So we take one step ahead to reach 1,000 miles.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah, I think, see, he said that gray beard doesn't mean that old. I am not that old. But still, I try to answer your question.
The thing is that I'm trying to be
Old.
pretend that I'm young.
Okay.
So like I had said in my part of
Hello. In my part of the presentation, while there is no doubting that the governments, I will say central government and the state governments are going even out of the way to do things. And large and sometimes even medium enterprises are also doing a lot. The issue really is that an entrepreneur, when you want to start, just like in sports, beta पढ़ लो कुछ बन जाओगे, खेल कूद में कुछ नहीं रखा. Similarly, for entrepreneur, there is no social support. There is no social support. So what can be done to do that part? If I know the younger generation because I'm teaching them and I'm interacting with them, and I keep my beard white because people like you all think I'm okay. Otherwise, I like to be like them. They don't want to work for anybody. They want to be their own master, but they're beaten down by their parents, their social circles. How does one correct that part?
That's a very tough question, but I think for this, mindset of the parent has to change.
So that's the question.
Mindset of the parents.
So how do we do that? That means the skilling is required for the parents now. It's the youngsters don't need it. We need to reskill our parents.
That is what actually we started doing in Andhra now, upskilling everyone. In fact, all the government officers, we are doing it at the same time because, as is rightly said, the moment a child takes birth, they'll say that now my son wants to be like this, he should become like this. So we will always give aspirations on behalf of someone else. So we need to think, parents has to change that, make them entrepreneurs. Why his son can't become like one Ambani or Elon Musk or Ratan Tata? They think that, my son should be like this. And why parents can't think like PV Sindhu, Sachin Tendulkar and Dhoni? So this is most important. Parents' mindset has to think, they should start thinking like an entrepreneur to create. They are the people. See, new education policy also talks about this. Any policy, it has to, self-realization has to come. We have to think. See, as a parent, I also want to think like my daughter should become like an entrepreneur. Whatever support she wants, we will give her that support. And I can say that with this education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. But education with the right skill is most important weapon. This is told by the Nelson Mandela. And finally, I just want to conclude by my role model, Swami Vivekananda. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. This quote from Rigveda emphasizes the importance of actually pursuing knowledge and skills. It encourages individuals to rise above mediocrity and continuously strive towards achieving their goals through education and skill development. Very well said. So it's a continuous learning. It's a continuous learning. Even today, you all actually, tomorrow also we start learning. Skill is not a full stop. It is never ending. Acquiring new skill and skill day by day and become entrepreneurs. I think after listening this, at least some people start thinking an entrepreneurship model. Make sure that your children become like entrepreneurs. Motivate them, encourage them, and give them support. And you also please, industries also make, if someone has got entrepreneurship skills and someone want to do business, give them encouragement. Don't discourage. Let them see. Thomas Alva Edison said, he failed 1,000 times. He said very positively, he found 1,000 different ways. We should not think that I'm failed in, no. I've heard so many times, sir, I started a business, nuksan ho gaya mere ko. So that is what we should know. It happened 10,000 times he's tried, Thomas Alva Edison. And he said, the positive ways, 10,000 different ways. The same way you should think like that. And thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Thank you once again, Mr. And he always thinks not himself, beyond. He thinks about humanity. He thinks about the nation. For him, his nation is first, then about himself. Thank you, Om Kalashji and his team. Jai Hind.
Applause for Dr. Karthikeyan. I hope you all are enjoying the session. Are you enjoying? Yes or no? So raise your hands and say yes. Thank you so much. So we have another important guest sitting in front of us, and I would like to invite him. He has a very illustrious career in the field of, SME sector. Mr. Chandrakant Salunke is the founder and president of SME Chamber of India, Mumbai. And he has founded several other chambers and federations for SME sector. He represents the industry in a very, very big way. Inviting Dr. Chandrakant Salunke, kindly come on the dais, and I would request Abhishek ji to kindly felicitate him. Thank you, and I would have...
Good morning, friends. Good afternoon, rather. Thank you, Pandey Sahab, for inviting me at this program. Rather, it's a global forum. हम भले global सोचते हैं, लेकिन अभी field work करने की बहुत ज़रूरत है. As my fellow speaker said about, after listening to him, you will start your own business. And I think Professor Dilip, no? And another fellow speaker set the agenda for my speech rather. All of you must be from the industry, business, profession, or startups, or maybe you are thinking to start business. It's right time to think. जैसे हमारे फेलो स्पीकर ने कहा कि बहुत सारे ऐसे सुविधाएं उपलब्ध है, उस सुविधाएं का उपलब्धि का आप फ़ायदा जब लेंगे तो मुझे लगता है ग्लोबल में हमारे एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का डंका पिटने में जैसे मोदी जी आज काम करे, वैसा हमारे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स की क्रेडिबिलिटी एंड क्रेडिट वर्दीनेस बढ़नी चाहिए और बढ़ती रहेगी. यही शब्द के साथ मैं कहना चाहता हूँ कि आज की डेट में एसएमई सेक्टर में अगर देखा जाए, किसी ने अभी एसएमई सेक्टर के बारे में कहा, देयर आर प्लेंटी ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ फॉर एसएमईज़. आज देखिए 2014 में स्टार्टअप इंडिया आ गया. आज स्टार्टअप्स कितने बढ़ गए आगे, कितने स्टार्टअप यूनिकॉर्न्स हो गए. SME sector is playing very important role in India, particularly for the employment generation, export promotion, export contribution, industrial output. आज की डेट में अगर आप देखोगे तो 6.5 करोड़ MSMEs इंडिया में है और सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयड मोर देन 5 करोड़ है. छोटे हॉकर्स की वो लेकर चलेंगे तो आज वो 5 से 10 लोगों को एम्प्लॉयमेंट देता है. बट सरकार के खाते में इसकी गिनती नहीं है और सिर्फ देखते हैं कि एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन करो, हम देखेंगे क्या करना है, बट कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. बट ऑन द कंट्री मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडस्ट्री में बहुत सारे डेवलपमेंट हो रहे हैं. जैसे कि अपने इनोवेशन इन्वेंशन की बात करते हैं, आज कौन सी कंपनी, कौन से एसएमईज और कौन सी फैक्ट्री इनोवेशन पे ध्यान देती है, बिकॉज दे आर फेसिंग मोर देन 40-42 प्रॉब्लम्स पर डे. बट we have to compete with the world market, we have to compete with the Chinese market, we have to compete with the European market. For that purpose, all SMEs, particularly manufacturing industries, they have to adopt the advanced technology. They have to improve their credibility, they have to improve their credit worthiness. आज कितने बैंकों के पास कितना पैसा पड़ा है. आज देखिए HDFC बैंक का मर्जर हो रहा है, वर्ल्ड की 3rd या 4th रैंक पे बैंक जा रही है आज. I got opportunity to ICBC बैंक, यू मस्ट बी अवेयर, ICBC बैंक वर्ल्ड की टॉप नंबर 1 की बैंक है JP मॉर्गन के बाद में. उस बैंक का जब इनॉग्रेशन कर रहा था, मुझे पता नहीं था कि ICBC बैंक किस लेवल पर है. तो जब SBI के चेयरमैन और RBI के ऑफिसर बैठे थे, उन्होंने कहा दिस इज़ वन ऑफ द ग्रेट अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर यू रिप्रेजेंटिंग SME चैम्बर और SME ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और SME एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, दैट यू आर इनॉग्रेटिंग द ICBC बैंक which is one of the largest bank in the world. And when the chairman said during his speech that ICBC bank is a depend on 99% of SME sector in China. So सोचिए कि आज हमारे बैंकर्स के पास इतना पैसा पड़ा है, लेकिन कितने SMEs फ़ायदा ले रहे हैं. Can I know those people are sitting here, those are aware about 5 crore collateral fee loan is available? कितने लोग जानते हैं और कितने लोगों ने इसका फ़ायदा लिया है? 1997 पांडे साहब, जब ये सिडबी के मैं एक एडवाइजरी बोर्ड पर था, उस वक्त पटेल साहब, फॉर योर इन्फॉर्मेशन ऑल्सो, आई आर रेज द क्वेश्चन दैट any entrepreneur or any person, a potential person would like to start a business, without collateral you can't do business, you can't start your business or you can't go for a loan. So उस वक्त हमने 25 लाख का कोलेट्रल फी लोन लाया था फॉर स्पेसिफिक सेक्टर के लिए। फिर उसके बाद 50 लाख तक हो गया, फिर उसके बाद फोर्स करने के बाद 1 करोड़ तक कर लिया। जब डीमोनेटाइजेशन हो गया तो मोदी जी के पास मैंने मेरा प्रस्ताव रखा कि आप उसको 5 करोड़ कीजिए। फिर उसके बाद हमने प्रस्ताव रखा कि उसको 10 करोड़ होना चाहिए। तो आज की डेट में 5 करोड़ तक का कोलेट्रल फी लोन है। इफ़ यू वांट टू स्टार्ट अ बिजनेस, इफ़ यू वांट टू स्टार्ट अ ट्रेडिंग, इफ़ यू वांट टू स्टार्ट एनी टाइप ऑफ बिजनेस, आपको कोई भी पीएसबी बैंक है, जैसे एचडीएफसी हो, आईसीआईसी बैंक, सभी को अलाउ किया गया है। अराउंड 100 फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन आर प्रोवाइडिंग, उसका फ़ायदा लेना बहुत ज़रूरी है। स्टार्टअप्स की बात, स्टार्टअप इंडिया के माध्यम से आज आपको हर बैंक 10 करोड़ तक, 50 करोड़ तक कोलैटरल फी लोन भी दे रही है। बट व्हाट इज़ द इम्पॉर्टेंट, यू हैव टू शोकेस योर क्रेडिबिलिटी, यू हैव टू शोकेस योर क्रेडिट वर्दीनेस। 2 पेज की बैलेंस शीट से काम नहीं बनता है अभी। अगर आप आज का ये एजेंडा देखा जाए, अगर हम लोग को जिस तरह से स्ट्रैटेजिक सॉल्यूशंस की बात करते हैं ग्लोबल कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस में या ग्लोबल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में, हमारे एसएमईज और हमारे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स की लैकिंग क्या है पता है? दे आर नॉट क्रिएटिंग देयर क्रेडिबिलिटी। अब क्रेडिबिलिटी किस प्रकार की होनी चाहिए? आपकी कंपनी बराबर चलनी चाहिए, मैनेजमेंट परफेक्ट होनी चाहिए, आपके जो रिलेशंस है सप्लायर्स बायर के साथ बहुत अच्छे होने चाहिए, स्टेक होल्डर्स के साथ आपका कैसा बर्ताव है, कंप्लायंसेस कैसे करते हो, गवर्नमेंट की फॉर्मेलिटीज़ ऑन टाइम कितनी होती है, और सबसे महत्वपूर्ण है आपका मैनेजमेंट का इकोसिस्टम। आपने कौन से गुड गवर्नेंस को इस्तेमाल किया गया है, कौन से बिजनेस एथिक्स आपने अडॉप्ट किए, फेयर बिजनेस प्रैक्टिसेस कितने लिए, ये बहुत जानकारी हमारे एंटरप्रेन्योर को होने की ज़रूरत है। क्रेडिट वर्दीनेस, आज कितने एसएमईज, कितने एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, पांडे साहब हमारे जब बैंक में जाते हैं तो पहले पूछते हैं कि मुझे लोन लेना है, लेकिन मैनेजर कहता है लोन किस लिए लेना है। जब उसके बाद हमारा प्रक्रिया शुरू हो जाता है, फिर हम कोई कंसल्टेंट ढूंढते, ऐसा नहीं, कॉन्टैक्ट प्रॉपर कंसल्टेंट। आज ये एक्चुअली यहाँ कहने की बात नहीं, बट लेकिन हम लोग ग्लोबल की बात करते हैं तो हमें ग्राउंड लेवल पे काम करना बहुत ज़रूरी है, सीखना बहुत ज़रूरी है। क्योंकि मैं फेस करता हूँ हमारे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स के साथ, जब हमारे मेंबर्स आते हैं दे फेस अ लॉट प्रॉब्लम, सो देयरफॉर यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर योरसेल्फ। नाउ मार्केट इज एट योर डोर स्टेप। पहले हम कहते हैं ना ग्राहक हमारा या कस्टमर हमारा भगवान होता है, वैसे आप अभी इम्पॉर्टेंट हो, बिकॉज एंटरप्रेन्योर इन इंडिया इज इम्पॉर्टेंट नाउ। मोदी जी 5 ट्रिलियन डॉलर्स इकोनॉमी नहीं अचीव करेंगे, आप करने वाले हो। मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हब इंडिया को कौन बनाएगा? आप बनाने वाले हो, मोदी जी नहीं करने वाले। मोदी जी का काम क्या है? आपको लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड देना है, आपको सही तरीके से पॉलिसी बनाना है, स्कीम बनाना है। कितने लोगों को पता है एमएसएमई की अच्छी अच्छी स्कीम्स है? कितने लोगों को पता है कि मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स की अच्छी स्कीम्स है? कितने एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को पता है कि बैंकिंग के बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट्स हैं? आज अगर हमारे पास इतनी सुविधाएं हैं तो उस सुविधाओं को बढ़ाने के लिए हमें जानकारी चाहिए, कनेक्टिविटी चाहिए, और उसका कैसे इस्तेमाल करना चाहिए उसमें बहुत ज़रूरी है। एसएमई चैम्बर ऑफ इंडिया के माध्यम से मैं बहुत इसके प्रोग्राम करते हैं, कॉन्फ्रेंस करते हैं, अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम करते हैं। इसका फ़ायदा हमारे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को होना चाहिए। आज देखिए पैंडेमिक में आपको पता चला आपके कौन और पराये कौन। उस वक्त हमें बहुत सारा ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हो गया, डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हो गया, इनोवेशन हो गया, टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलपमेंट हो गई, उसका कंटिन्यूटी हमारे इसमें होना ज़रूरी है। हम एक तरफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन करते हैं तो गवर्नमेंट के पीछे मैं पढ़ा हूँ कि हमें लेवल प्लेइंग और बढ़नी चाहिए अच्छी। आज देखिए थाईलैंड में जाएंगे तो बिजनेस का गवर्नमेंट कितनी बड़ी सपोर्ट करती है। चाइना में जाइए, कोरिया में जाइए, जापान में जाइए, गवर्नमेंट इज़ प्रोवाइडिंग लॉट ऑफ इंसेंटिव स्कीम्स। अब ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन की ज़रूरत है। मेरा काम मैं कर रहा हूँ, आई एम ट्राइंग टू इम्प्लीमेंट दी लॉट ऑफ पॉलिसीज़, पॉलिसी फ्रेमवर्क चेंज करने जा रहा है। आपको एसएमई स्टॉक एक्सचेंज कितने लोगों को पता है बताइए? कैन यू रेज हैंड? कितने लोग लिस्ट किए हैं उसमें? देखिए पांडे जी, एक बंदे को पता है। एसएमई स्टॉक एक्सचेंज ब्रॉट बाय मी इन 2008, एडवोकेटेड बाय मी। ट्रेड्स प्लेटफॉर्म कितने जो लोगों को पता है? इफ़ यू आर सप्लाइंग टू लार्ज कॉर्पोरेट, इफ यू आर नॉट गेटिंग योर रिसीवल ऑन टाइम, so there is a trades platform brought by me through the RBI, because lot of SMEs facing problem when they are not getting their trade receivable on time. आज हमारे SME के कैपिटल पर बड़े कॉरपोरेट जी रहे हैं, हमारे सप्लाई चेन के ऊपर बड़े कॉरपोरेट जी रहे हैं, उनके पॉकेट से पैसा नहीं डालते, हमारे पैसे से काम करते हैं। आज बैंक के पास 2 लाख के आसपास एसएमई कस्टमर्स है जो बोरोवर्स है, बाकी 6.5 करोड़ बोरोवर्स का एसएमईज कहाँ जाते हैं? ट्रेडिशनल फाइनेंस पे जाते हैं। सो फ्रेंड्स, दिस इज द राइट टाइम टू अवेल and take advantage of the whatever the services, whatever the schemes, policies made available by government and banking sector. My chamber always will support you if you are looking for transformation, if you are looking to grow your business, if you are looking to go for exports, and आपको कोई भी दिक्कत हो, गवर्नमेंट की हो या फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज में हो, आप हमें कांटेक्ट कर सकते हो। और दूसरी सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात है, जो स्टार्टअप्स, अगर आप में स्टार्टअप्स बैठे हैं, स्टार्टअप्स लुकिंग ओनली सर्विस इंडस्ट्री, मैं कहता हूँ स्टार्टअप्स ने अभी उनका डाइवर्सिफिकेशन करना चाहिए टूवर्ड्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडस्ट्री। देखिए, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडस्ट्रीज में कम से कम 85 टाइप के सर्विसेज लगते हैं। अगर 20-25 करोड़ की कंपनी भी हो तो उसके 85 के ऊपर उसको सर्विसेज लगते हैं। तो उस सर्विसेज को आप अगर आप प्रोवाइड करना शुरू करो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडस्ट्री में, तो कितने कॉरपोरेट्स हैं, कितने एमएसएमईज इंडिया में, उसका फ़ायदा आपका हो सकता है और हमारे स्टार्टअप्स जी सकते हैं, बढ़ सकते हैं, ग्रोथ कर सकते हैं। तो फ्रेंड्स, आई विल नॉट टेक मच टाइम, बट पॉइंट इज, इफ़ यू वांट टू इम्प्रूव योर कैपेबिलिटीज़ एंड कैपेसिटीज़, you have to learn, you have to understand, you have to create awareness about in a group, and also make a group of the entrepreneurs where you can go in an international market, where you can go at national level. Entrepreneurship create करने में दिक्कतें नहीं आती है, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप चलाने में और बढ़ाने में दिक्कतें आती है। वो दिक्कतें दूर करना, आपको विश्वास देना, ये हमारा काम है। पंडित जी को दोबारा धन्यवाद देता हूँ, यही समाप्त होता है। धन्यवाद।